Hey guys, it's your boy Senpai here with a very important question. Have you ever wanted to start a cult? Me too. Welcome to Cult of the Lamb, a new game that I've definitely fallen in love with. Think Animal Crossing meets a roguelite, meets an evil, dark, demonic cult, like a bad cult, okay, you get the idea, it's a cult. Welcome to Cult of the Lamb. So our journey begins with a very ominous warning as we find ourselves bound and ready for sacrifice. Still adorable as hell though, just look at him. Anyway, as we walk towards our impending demise, we're graciously prompted with a kneel to sacrifice button? Yo! Standing before us are the 4 bishops of the old faith who make it clear we're the last of our kind and will be ready for sacrifice to prevent the prophecy. We have Bushhead, Frog Guy, Face Ussy, and the Spider one. That's right, Face Ussy, that's him right there. After a brief introduction and a lot of talk about the old faith and the prophecy, these 4 bishops are ready to slaughter this adorable little lamb. That's too bad. And then we're dead. But it's the adorable, cute, easy on the eyes kind of dead. Anyway, we end up finding God, or a God, waiting. He's the one who waits, which explains his waiting. The one explains it was through death we were able to reach him, and proceeds to offer us our adorable mortal flesh once again, but it comes with a price. We must start a cult in his name. At this point, we are faced with the game's most difficult decision. Yes or absolutely. I won't spoil it for you, but if you choose wrong here, it can change everything. After accepting the deal, the one gifts us his crown, bestowing an amazing, dark, and terrible power to us.
And thus, the Cult of the Lamb is born! Okay, I guess Retribution is in order. Die, heretics!
After dealing with those pathetic heretics, we find our first ally. His name is Ratau, and you can consider him to be something of a spiritual guide. He loves showing up randomly, like here, where this adorable little deer is about to be
sacrificed to the old faith.
And then this man just yeets himself into the fucking dirt. Like, all right, man, guess I'm gonna slay these heretics. Nothing like spilling the blood of heretics, am I right? Anyway, after we rescue this poor guy, he looks absolutely terrified, so we calm him down by sending him straight into the pits of hell. No, I'm kidding. He's just awaiting indoctrination. Well, what we just witnessed was totally normal. Anyway, back to work. Those heretics won't slay themselves. Finally finding our way out of the Darkwood, we're greeted by Ratau once again, and it's finally time to start our
cult.
The deer we rescued is waiting indoctrination. See, I told you he was okay. I noticed his name is Hanatre, which is cool, but this one is special. My first disciple. So, henceforth he should be known as Fairgray the First, and with that, he was welcomed into the cult as my brother. Oh my god, that is adorable.
Now get to work, we don't have all day.
With Fairgray the First gathering wood, I began my own projects. Slaying heretics can build up an appetite, so we started by building a cooking stand to keep the cult well nourished. Though I enjoy cooking, something was definitely missing. I needed to be worshipped. Ratau explained that would require a shrine built to my honor, though gold was needed to construct it, which I didn't have. But do you know who has gold?
The heretics.
Okay, pause. I got a little ahead of myself. Some important things transpired on this crusade. First off, we ran into Bushhead, aka Bishop Leshy, and he was not happy to find us alive. In fact, he was so upset that he demanded one of his followers perform a blood ritual, converting them into this first mini-boss. Yeah, that's pretty dark. Upon defeating this monstrosity, he reverted to his original form and begged my forgiveness. He looked so adorable and so terribly frightened, and I can always use more cult members, so...
Welcome to the cult, you filthy heretic turncoat!
And with that, we were on our way out of the Darkwood. Or so I thought. We once again find ourselves before the one who waits, and he pretty much just tells us,
Good job, little homie. You keep spilling that sweet heretic blood.
and now we're out of the Darkwood. The first order of business was indoctrinating that filthy heretic turncoat we rescued. I noticed his name was Amdusius. I'll never remember that. He needed something more personal. After opening up his filthy little mind, I realized he had the traits of a sloth. Not looking good for this one. His name needed to reflect that poor work ethic, so he adopted the name Argray the Sloth. And with that, he was very hesitantly indoctrinated into servitude. Wow, this is just the cutest little thing. Oh my.
Harvest the stone or I harvest your organs.
After that, we finally began the construction on an altar in my honor. Fairgray and Argray were eager to help, and Ratal was so happy to see I was finally getting what I deserved.
Some goddamn respect.
Then Ratal informed me another member was awaiting indoctrination. This one's name was Febramir. And as it turns out, well, Febramir was, he was a cynic. Yeah. Just great. Just great. So we named him Maju the Cynical, and yeah, here we are. I don't know why both my previous new followers have to have bad traits, but whatever.
It's time to worship your new god, you cynical bastard.
With my new followers worshiping their new god and master, I began work on the temple. With my temple completed, I finally had a place to preach my sermons. Words of love, peace, prosperity, and I'm sorry.
Behold the one true God. Feed me your faith and your flesh. The time of the Lamb is nigh. Bend the knee or become a sacrifice to the chosen one.
My flock was eager and excited to be brainwashed, preached to. And thus the first sermon was received. Spoiler alert, they loved it. Ratal was also very pleased, calling me a natural leader, and went on to explain it was time to declare doctrines for my followers to live by. And that's it for part 1. With our cult finally getting off the ground, things were really starting to come together. I was getting the respect I deserve, and the flock was eager to follow the path of righteousness. It's a good thing this whole cult thing isn't going to my head.
Subscribe for part 2 or forever be labeled as a filthy heretic.